time, so we'll get started. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if you join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'll join me in prayer, please. Our Heavenly Father, we've come this evening to do the county's business as the Dodgers County Ambulance Authority. We ask your blessings upon this meeting and give us direction and leadership as we go forward. Our Heavenly Father, we just ask that you guide us. Let us understand our role here and what we're to do. We'd ask for prayer requests for any that might need it, Lord, and those that are our duty to pray for. Our Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening and for a beautiful day that you provide. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, it appears that all the board members are here this evening. For the sake of everybody, I think we all know everybody, no guests this evening. We'll just go ahead without introduction of that. So as far as roll call, we're all here. Approval of the minutes. Missy has handed out the minutes to you for the July 30th meeting. If you'll take time to read those at this point, if you haven't already done so.
everyone had time to read the minutes of the July 30th meeting? If so, do I hear any additions or corrections, or do I hear a motion to accept it as it is written?
So moved to accept as written.
Do I hear a second? Chris Harmon will second the motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carried. The minutes are approved. Okay, treasurer's report, Chris.
The deposits for up till today for the month of August is $21,401.50. The bills that have been paid this month total $24,890.79. Balance in the checkbook is $23,950.27. And the balance in the savings account is $33,0157. And we started using the Visa card. Use that in the last.
On the expenses, it's easy to notice that the expenses have outweighed our incoming. Is there anything that is outstanding this month that we should be aware of? Okay, having heard the treasurer's report, are there any questions? Not, do I hear a motion that we accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Yes, do I hear a second? Gary Tomlinson is seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Treasurer's report accepted. Okay, as far as, correct.
Just one, when you use the P card and make the payment on the P card, they want you, the state auditors want to have every receipt. So make sure that anybody knows that uses the card, they need to bring the receipt back to you.
And then there's another check and balances that goes with that in there, that there has to be anything that it's been reviewed and signed off on.
I'm sure there probably is, but you know, that's one thing that they cite organizations on is when they audit is if you don't have the receipt, every receipt for the expenditures on that card, then you get written up in the audit.
Martha's keeping track. Martha's helping me a lot with that. And we get emails, we get some email confirmations, and then there's some that I've got written up. It's kind of confusing.
Company 1, Company 3, Company 6 to respond.
Yeah, I mean, it's convenient, but you know, I said, the auditor's office comes and recommends that you get the P card, and then if you don't keep every receipt, then they'll write you out. So,
I think the way I understood it, I was with Chris and Cameron from the state procedure, and one of the things that he suggested that there's a sign-off sheet, and we already have that in place as well. So, I think we're covered. Okay, Randy's not able to be with us in case you didn't know. He did have a class to teach in Parkersburg this evening. He has provided a written report for us. Each of you should have that. We can just go, we'll just read it. It says, I want to give my apologies for not being able to attend our meeting because of a schedule conflict with the Wood County Health Department where I was scheduled to teach a CPR class. First bullet, getting 5 EMTs ready to recertify with the state. There are the names of them. Sandy Naylor Frederick, Martha Frame, Lickma Stark, Artie Flynn, and Samantha Reed from the Smithburg Fire Department. The test date is set for September 30th, 2013 at 6 p.m. Sean Reed is set up to take the EMT course. That was one thing we requested. doing that. Second bullet, I held CPR and first aid classes for several local residents that were in need of new CPR and first aid cards. Next bullet, on August the 8th, 2013, President Mike Bailey, Treasurer Chris Arnold, and I met with Cameron from the West Virginia State Auditor's Office concerning the state purchasing credit card. We filled out the application in a week. We received the new cards. Chris has just reported on that as well. Next bullet, all the units are up and running. This month's report, 39 transports, 15 refusals, 1 cancellation, 1 public assist, and 1 medical assist. These are as of today. And one of the things that Randy's providing the board each month is the mileage on each of the vehicles. And as you see at the bottom of the report there it is.
Company 1, Company 3 respond. Big plan just before brush run. Signals in the traffic.
Wyatt is working on that. Turning that down.
Very good.
Okay.
Did that not say one patient?
Okay, are there any questions concerning Randy's report?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say that the ambulance has a certain knowledge they had to be put out of service. Is that right or wrong?
Okay. I don't have an answer to that.
And from the looks of the year, there's only not sure 38,000 miles and it's still in service. And I know we were talking to Douglas County Fire and Rescue, and I forget now what the mileage was, but at a certain mileage, I know every 3 years we ordered a new ambulance for the Douglas County EMS down there, because they said one of them, it was out on mileage.
I think I misunderstood the first part of the question. The number of mileage, you mean?
Yeah.
Their
The number of miles on each of the
Okay.
vehicles.
Yeah.
The one has 238,057 miles.
You retired?
Oh, okay.
70,000 miles. And you folks know anything about that?
They used to buy a new ambulance at the squad and push the ones with the higher mileage
Yeah.
back. But as long as you have those newer units out there, you can have extra units to fall back on.
Okay, but I understood that you had to have a limit every 70,000 miles.
Nope, I don't think that that's what it is.
That's what we were told down there, or that's what I understood. Because if we bought one every time we had a levy, if we bought an ambulance.
What I'll do, I'll pass this question on to Mr. Flynn and
Okay.
let him investigate it and report back at the next meeting.
There is some kind of a thing there, but I think that what the squad did was got rid of their oldest,
Yeah.
put the newest one in,
But
and then kept the other ones. They just rotated.
And a 38,000 miles, that is a lot of miles on an ambulance, I'll tell you. Of course, I know the replacement, it takes a lot of money too. It
Like
takes a lot of money.
I say, we'll bring that to Mr. Flynn's attention and have him report on it next month.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you buy an ambulance, all you get is a bare ambulance. I mean, you don't get none of the stuff in it, no, or no, you just put all of that stuff in it yourself. And that don't come cheap.
Looks like transports, 39 this month is down considerably. Last month it was 57. Of course, we had no control over that. But maybe, I'm wondering if that's part of the reason that our income is down somewhat this month, because of fewer transports. And another question, I wonder, it says 39 transports. Does that mean transporting people to dialysis and just, or is that emergency runs included in that 39 transports? Do you know, Chris?
That's emergency runs, because that was one of the things that county commission wanted us to do, up was the transports.
So we don't do any
We
transports
do
at all?
some, but not very many.
So those 39 are mostly emergency
Yeah.
runs?
I would say emergency, because the last month he gave us a total, if you notice, because that was one of the things I stuck in minutes, because I wanted to make sure that we kept track of. It said 6 scheduled transports.
Oh,
So maybe those,
he didn't list that in this month, did he?
yeah, because he had stated that they do some things with the jail, so,
Yeah.
They got a contract with the jail.
Yeah.
but now last month he gave us that total. That they had 6 scheduled, so I would almost say that these,
Probably 6 of those.
well, no, I'd say these were probably emergency, because he didn't list,
Oh.
you know what I'm saying, scheduled transports off to the side.
Could
But we may want to,
Get some clarification on that as well next month. I'm making a few notes to ask him to have prepared for us. Are there any other questions concerning his report? Okay. Next thing on the agenda is public reports. Anyone aware of any? All right, old business. One thing I had written down was under old business was the agreement with the generator. And as far as I know, we still do not have an agreement to sign as far as the MOU with the agency and us.
We do not have the generator down agreement yet.
Okay.
I thought that thing was already supposed to be set.
Well, I noticed that Banks out our way, theirs is set.
Well, ours is not. They weren't Saturday. They may be set today, I don't know, but it was not set there Saturday. Because all was over just a concrete slab.
So you might check with your coordinator and get with Pat Easter. I think that would be the recourse on that. 'Cause
But,
I do know Banks is there.
Well, I think that they said ours was set too, but it's not.
Okay.
because Greenwood was in phase 2 of the report, so you may want to
Okay.
double check on that,
be.
because
Where was Banks missed? Do you know?
Banks was in phase 3.
Phase 3.
And I do know that the Dodgers County Park has theirs, because I've been seeing it at cross country, and they're phase 1, the very first, you know what I'm saying, so.
Well, our fire chief, I seen Pat someplace, and Pat said the thing was set, but it wasn't set, and it's still not set.
So you might want to,
They're worth looking into.
yeah, because I kept, you know what I'm saying, those.
But of course, I mean, ours are in the last one to be set. I know that.
Okay, moving on. Is there any other old business?
I got old business.
Yes.
Mr. Cunston gave us papers to do some investigating on some of these counties, and I did it. Because he told me I was gonna make $300
$3,000.
or whatever, but I don't want it.
You have a report?
I do.
All right.
All right. See, we didn't legally vote on that the last time, so I, did you notice how much?
It was just a recommendation, wasn't it?
Yeah, so because if you, it
Well, I
wasn't,
followed your,
Wait till Hen's report out and
and then we can make,
I followed your recommendation. Okay?
then we appreciate it.
I know that you wanted somebody else to do this, but I said, well, I'm gonna do it because I want the money.
It's called video.
Okay. Well, assuming everybody can understand this, but I'll stand up here and go over it with you,
Thank you.
if you wish,
Yes, please.
okay? Number one is Doddridge. And you can read what the commission is given the ambulance authority. Sorry, but Gilmer did not respond to me. Lewis County, they have a levy, and once a year they give their ambulance, their EMS, I should say, $30,000 to help buy a new ambulance. Tyler is 100% levy, and they get $160,000 per year. Their EMS, plus they get whatever they send the bills in, get paid from the billing. And Ritchie is the same. Taylor, Barber, they get $10,000 a year from the commission, and whatever they get from their billing and fundraising. That's it. Weird County, they get insurance billing, and once in a while the county gives them $10,000. Calhoun is strictly levy, and I'm sorry I don't have the total from a lot of these levies. They didn't give it to me, because some of them said we don't know how much it is, so I didn't push too hard. Tucker, they didn't call me back. Webster County, the hospital runs the EMS in Webster County, and they didn't give me any figures. Okay?
May I make a footnote? Population for Doddridge County includes the residents of the jail.
I don't know if it does.
It does.
It does?
It does.
Okay.
According to people who took the census.
Okay.
Okay. And that's about between 600 and 650 people.
Okay, I'm sorry, I did not understand. How many?
Between 600 and 650.
So basically what that does is show us that Doddridge County is really probably the smallest county. Yeah.
Well,
It'd be right there with
words.
Gilmer.
Words.
Basically, yeah, word.
I would, if Doddridge County population includes the regional jail, I would think that Gilmer might include the federal prison over there. But I don't,
Yeah,
once
it would
again,
be.
I would think that would be the case.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably about either 11 or 1,400 people there. Somebody said.
You want a copy of this for Randy?
Yeah.
The one thing that isn't clear to me,
Yeah, I got one.
That game.
one thing that has always concerned me when I've looked at these figures is then how do they calculate below the poverty level? Because they can't count the jail population when they do per capita income below poverty level. Skewing of numbers like that bothers me. I think the numbers are skewed. But I was told that yes, that 8,202 figure includes the regional jail population.
Well, my purpose in wanting to get this last line, which Butch got here under Muddins, my purpose in wanting to get that was not so much that all these other numbers were tremendously important, but just to get an idea of relatively how we are size-wise and income wealth-wise, and then how much are we spending out of our county to support the emergency services versus other counties. That's the point I want to get to, and I think this pretty well shows that we're not in line with what other counties are spending.
If you wanted to actually do, some pen on paper calculation, if you looked at, say, accepted $750,000, that looks like the 2012, 2013 figure. I would include the jail because the jail is serviced by this county. So I would use that 8,200 figure for that purpose because, like I said, we just heard they get transports. I know that when somebody was murdered over there, the DCAA was called in. So the ambulance service here does provide emergency care to the jail. So I include them for those purposes.
Well, I think as we move forward now, and I think there'll be reports later in the meeting about discussions that are taking place. As we begin moving forward, we can use some of this data to help us make decisions as a county.
Are there any questions from anyone concerning the report that Mr. Sandor has presented to us?
Thank you. Thank you.
He's working 3,000, we'll keep that in mind.
He's gonna have to pay for it himself.
I thought you said 300.
No, 3,000.
I did a good job for $300, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
All right. No questions? All right, thank you. And we will be sure that Mr. Flynn gets a copy of it as well.
I've got some additional information that I had gotten from Lewis County. And if you want to take this and make copies, I'd just like the information back. But it's got their number of employees, the employees' wages, the number of runs, their budget for the year of 2013-14. That would be, I'm sure, information that would be helpful to you also.
And we'll get copies from you. I'm not sure we have access to the copier now.
That's fine. Just, you can take it and copy it and get it back to me. That's all that's necessary. You want me to give it to him? Well, I can give it to him.
I'll give it to him. Let me go.
Yeah, you better earn your $300.
What a page,
You do understand by giving this to us now that you are obliged to pay him part of your income.
Yeah.
That's how it works, isn't it?
Okay.
All right. Any additional old business?
Discuss the handbook.
Okay, the next report is the DCAA handbook, and of course, we did have we appointed the committee, and that would be Mr. Thompson, Mr. Hopkinton, and Ms. Vaughn.
We need to vote on that. We need to carry that motion. We only brought that up last time, but that was not actually a motion made to accept that and carry that. No. So we need to make, you know what I'm saying, make that motion again so we can.
Okay, do I hear a motion to accept these three as our, and pursue the completion of our DCAA handbook?
So moved.
Gary Tompkins seconds it. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Nay? Motion carries then. So we'd ask that the committee would meet, and I think that Mr. Flynn has copies of Marion County. I think we have copies available to us now from Lewis County. So if you all can meet, and if you need Mr. Flynn, I'm sure he'll meet with you, work on that as well.
Who are the
The
three?
three is Mr. Thompson, Ed Thompson, Gary Tompkins, and Misty Small.
And Misty, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, what we needed just to.
Okay, thank you. Keep me straight.
No, you guys have been guiding me for quite some time now, and I think that I need to start looking like a good girl.
We appreciate your help. Okay, committee reports. Budget, finance, there's nothing to report. New business. The only thing that I think of the business that we talked about last was that, and then as well as the amount of monies that we were going to give to the county commission.
Decided we discuss that each month.
Yes.
And we need to figure out where we're going to go with this from here, so we can.
Okay. Let's take the money that we've committed to the county commission. You see the treasurer's report for this month. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Well, our goal was at 12 meetings, at $8,400 per meeting, we would meet that $100,000 goal. So we need 8,400. Last time it was 7,000, 1,400 short. But in looking at these numbers, we also said that we would try to keep the balance at 20,000 count and the emergencies. So that would leave $3,950 if we were going to maintain that effort. So it's Mr. What's your opinion?
Well, we have to look because we didn't have the number of runs as what we did last month. So if this happens to be another month that, you know, runs and things are going to be down again, I feel we should need to keep it up to 20,000 and pay $3,950.27.
Are you making that the form of a motion?
You gotta be asking how I felt.
Okay. I just tried to cut through the taste of it.
I'll make that the form of the motion, because I tend to agree. I think our county is moving to the place that we're going to be making some hopefully positive changes in emergency services to the county, and in the interim, while we're trying to get that new program in place for the county, I think we need to do what we can, and at this point, that's what we can. So I recommend $3,950.27 to the county commission.
I second that motion.
Okay, the motion's been made by Ed Thompson that we give $3,950.27 to the county commission. Gary Talkington has seconded that motion. Any discussion? So then, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries then. Chris, you'll issue the money, that'll take care of that. Okay. The second item there, Misty, was the information that Ed has provided to us and what Mr. Sandor has provided to us, and we also have this report that Mr. Robinson has reported to us. How do we want to proceed?
There's a report from the meeting.
We can table it until a later date, which might be the thing to do. We understand the process here. We understand that there's $750,000 going out to operate, and it's just plain and simple what we got to do. We've got to cut expenses or raise revenue. It's both of those hand in hand.
It's hard to raise revenue because the insurance companies set that. So, I mean, the insurance companies are the ones that set that. We don't set that actually. Because Medicare, you can charge somebody that's a Medicare patient $500 for a run, and Medicare will say, we only allow 200, and that's all you're going to get. Otherwise, you don't take care of Medicare patients. So they're the ones that set the.
I make a motion to table all this data. The purpose of gathering the data is to assist the county commission. Because ultimately, we as an ambulance authority are not responsible for determining what we're expected to do financially. We're just to operate what we have to work with. In the end, it's going to be up to the county commission to take a look at data, and if they want to do that in conjunction with us, that's up to the county commission. At the end, it's going to be their responsibility to make the decisions. So we've gathered some information to help them, and I'd recommend we table it until the county commission's had time to digest what they have, and let the county commission take some leadership with further plans with the ambulance authority and emergency services in the county. I make a motion to table all this data.
Mr. Nelson has made a motion that we table the information that we've gathered, what Mr. Sandor's gathered, what Mr. Robinson's gathered, what Mr. Thompson's gathered, until such time that it's presented to the county commission and they can take action of whatever they're going to do with it. Is there a second to that motion?
I second it. I second it.
Okay. Chris Arnold seconded the motion. Is there any questions or clarification of what we're doing here? All right, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries then. So if you get this back, we will get copies of it for the group, and
Yes, I appreciate
take it home with me and make sure you get that back. Okay. Is there any other new business? Commission request.
I will go ahead, as you all are aware, I was wanting to contact a consultant, and I I had told the other commissioners that I would come back to them with the information once I had made contact, and that then we, the county commission, could make the decision about what to do as far as this particular consultant is in as far as it's involved. I had a meeting with him, and I still want, I told the county commission that I would come to the county commission before we did anything. So that's what I feel we ought to do. Once we have a meeting on Tuesday, once we form a direction that we want to go, then I think we'll, well, not I think, we'll be back in contact with the board of directors here, and we can proceed from there. I would prefer not to say anything more about it at this point in time, because I haven't taken it to the county commission yet, and I want to do that, and then we'll fill you in on the details, if that's, and then we'll proceed from there. It's, I've got an idea of how we should proceed on this, but it's my idea, and I'm one of 3 county commissioners, so we want to give everybody their say, and then proceed from there. So,
Greg, we appreciate you sharing that with us, and we will grant you that permission to that's where you should go.
right.
And if you share with us anything that we need to do as a committee, we'll meet with you, whatever needs to be done.
Right. Yeah, we'll, as the old saying goes, we didn't get here where we're at overnight, and we're not going to solve things overnight. It's going to be a process, but I think we're on the right track. So I will, once we have the meeting, and of course, the county commission meeting is an open meeting, so if any of you want to attend and hear what I have to say there, You know, obviously, you're more than welcome to attend.
And that meeting's September the 3rd?
Yeah, it will be Tuesday at 9 a.m., right?
September 3rd.
Tuesday, September 3rd at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Monday's a holiday. Don't forget.
Monday's a holiday.
Monday's
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Tuesday's my husband's birthday.
I'm taking that day off.
Okay. Any other requests from the county commission?
You didn't have public comment, or maybe I missed it.
It's not there, but it's here, it's available.
I just have one question. This call, we sat and listened to it go out as one patient, entrapped. The fire departments were put on it. They responded. Why were 2 ambulances taken and the county left with nobody here and all of them out there?
I think I heard them say they wanted a medic response.
Yeah, but the medic unit took off.
They left first.
They left first, and then this one's come back in. So why does DCAA respond 2 units to something out in the country, leaving the area back here uncovered? Whenever dispatcher said 1 patient.
Well, I've got an idea on that, maybe I'm all wrong. But they've got burnt so many times, they've been told by dispatch that they've only got a patient, and they've got 3, 4, or 5 at a time, and they're trying to cover their own butts.
But at the same time, the county goes uncovered. You've got a unit
Well,
going out
and you've
there.
got, and I got another outfit down here in town that will cover the county.
Well, that's true too, but you get my point.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Because it's gasoline, it's fuel, it's
Yes,
wear and tear on the
I'll go with
vehicles.
you.
Expenses.
Yes.
We need to reduce our expenses.
I'll go along with that.
And it's a very good question, and we, as a board of directors, will present that to Mr. Flynn and let him answer to us concerning that.
Yeah, because I don't know if there's a protocol, because it said entrapment, so I don't know if there's a protocol, because I just found out that there's a protocol when there's an accident and if the person has lost consciousness, they have to call chopper. It has to be.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
That,
I didn't know that either.
They have to call chopper. If
Oh, I
somebody's in
didn't
the car
know that.
and they're unconscious, they have to call chopper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it's a good question, and I think it's something we need to
Yes.
refer to Mr. Flynn.
Yes,
and
I
get an
think so
answer.
too. I think that's a good question.
So I have a question though, so when they went out, nobody was left here in the building, right? Is that what you're saying,
that's what,
Tammy?
yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood you correctly, okay?
I mean, I wasn't in the other part of the building earlier, but I was assuming
There's
there's
only
just
two people in there.
2 crews went out.
2 groups here tonight.
There's only 2 people in there that I seen when I went in there right after I came up here.
Well, there were 2 crews because the second ambulance
Okay.
run.
Yeah.
Well, what does 2 crews consist of?
4 people.
4 people total.
Okay,
Medic and driver in both units.
okay, well, I just wanted to come new on board to these things. It's kind of helpful to
Yeah, they don't
understand.
have drivers anymore.
Okay.
And again, these are the things as a committee, we need to take a hard look at, because these are county vehicles, whether we accept that or whether we don't. And there's some guidelines, and the waste of county money, we are accountable for that. So,
That's right.
we owe that to the public we serve.
And considering they get the first call, and nobody here, something else would happen out here on Route 50.
Well, again, I think the best thing to do is direct that to Mr. Flynn and have him respond back to us on that.
But I do know that there's been several times that the AA's been called out for 1 person, and there's been more than 1 person hurt on that scene. So, it could be that they're just covering their own hind ends to make sure that there's other people out there. I don't know. I mean, if you got a good question, I'm not arguing that point at all. If you got a good question there.
Okay. More public comments, or
Yeah, well, when Butch and I were down at Stonewall Jackson, we discussed these issues with various other counties. And, we're not out there in left field when you're talking about problems and EMS. It's, I'll just give you one example. I was talking to a commissioner from Tucker County. Now, Tucker County, it's probably not as big as Doddridge County, size-wise, but I don't think, I'm not sure about that, but
It's on.
It's not.
it is, the way it's situated, you've got two distinct areas. You've got Parsons and up, I think, 219, and you've got Davis and Thomas and Canaan Valley, and it's not a long ways in between Parsons and Canaan Valley, but if you've ever traveled that road, it's like 15 miles, and I guarantee you it's going to take you an hour or more if you follow the road. They have big signs that says road not suitable for trucks. But what he indicated was that they had two different stations, one in Parsons and one, I believe he said, in Davis. And of course the one in Davis served the Canaan Valley area. He said the one in Parsons is 24/7. The one in Davis is 8 hours a day. And if somebody in Canaan Valley needs, during the night, they've got to. And I would imagine, I don't know this, I didn't ask that, but I would imagine they would go up 219 to Thomas and back down through Davis and down to Canaan Valley. But the reason was purely financial. It was, that's the story everywhere. Unless you're a Charleston that has, levies and lots of money and lots of tax money but even at that, your major cities are cutting back. So, it's not that we are the only ones out here that have that problem. I know that probably is no comfort to you, but at least we know that we're not alone in the problem. But yeah, and like I say, it wasn't just that one county. It was several counties that have.
I've got a question to ask. It don't pertain to, but at the jail, I understand that whenever a person serves a sentence, that they just put them out the front door and that's it. Why don't these counties take them back to the county seat or if you back to the county as where they're from, at least instead of leaving them down here? And they gotta make their own arrangements to get back to their own counties. And I don't think that's right. We have had a trouble down at Greenwood with the people I've been let out so far. But if they just kick them out of there and you put them out the door, then that ain't right either.
Well, it's probably, there are, there was a lot of hype, if you all remember, when they were convincing us that it was a good idea for the regional jail. I don't know that we've seen very much growth from it, and that was part of the hype.
Yeah, I know.
Part of it was the free labor that we would get from the inmates that were allowed to go out. Now
we haven't got nothing from them.
We get, I think the Solid Waste Authority, I think they get a little bit of labor from the regional jail, but it's very low. I know that out at the park, we used to have two employees in the summertime or even more, and they've got none now. I mean, there's other problems too.
Yeah.
You take when a person is transported to the regional jail, the costs of they're borne by the particular county. But if that person commits breaks the law while they're in jail, it's Doddridge County's responsibility to prosecute them. In my way of thinking, that's kind of unfair, but that's the way it is. So, there's a lot of things that are probably not fair, but
That's part of it.
yeah.
Okay, but now, and you take these cases that you hear are control, back in 2009. All right, somebody has been paying some lawyer for the last 4 or 5 years to keep that guy out of the job. Now, of course, if we're paying that, if we're paying the tax dollars, he's paying that, and that's not fair either.
Well,
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's not fair.
Well, I got a question, Gary.
Okay?
I understand what you're saying about just turning them loose down there. So who's going to transport them back to the counties where they belong?
Yeah,
Doddridge, we spend enough money, and I know they don't have the money to do that.
well,
And if you can get the people from their county to send a car down there to get them, good luck.
oh, I don't doubt that.
But you're not you. It's going to be expected that Doddridge go down there and take them where they belong.
Well,
That's not fair.
that's not our business.
Now,
And we bring them down there.
that's right.
But I still think these counties, where they are released down there, should come and get them and take them back to the county at least.
And I think what my understanding is that once you're released from any prison, it's up to your family, friends, or whoever to transport you back.
Yeah.
That's what I've always understood. My grandfather was a prison guard.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Okay,
how
I
it
didn't, okay, that may be. That may be.
Now, another thing to address Greg, I've been going up to the industrial homes and meetings up there, and they're going to take people out of the regional jails and take them up to Salem to try to keep the overcrowding down. And also, the people up Salem are going to be going out and working for the city of Salem. They even said Doddridge County, they would have people, we could go pick them up and work them all day. Now, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm waiting to see it.
No,
There's some more, I hate to say it, but there's some more federal stuff that is not gonna happen because they just put a bunch of stuff on us and say, there it is, you take it or leave it, and we don't care.
Tammy, you had your,
I'm looking.
you're okay. Okay, all right.
This could go on forever.
Yeah?
I know this doesn't have anything to do with the ambulance authority, but since we brought it up, why don't we have signs on the road saying, please do not pick up hitchhikers? There are.
Because
this is
that's
the
up to
jail.
the state road?
Yes, because they have them in other places where there's jails. It says, do not pick up hitchhikers. And I mean, I just think especially on 50, because there's people from all over the world that travel 50.
Yeah.
Well, I know that.
I know,
Since Chris has said
get a sign made.
Since Chris has said this, if we prosecute them, they come down here and we prosecute them in our jail because they've done something wrong. It's our county commission who pays the bill for their extension in time.
Yep.
But if I should try to get a sign made.
Pretty big.
Yeah, you're not getting there.
Okay, let's get back to the ambulance authority. I think we could be here all night talking about prisoners. And I don't think we want to do that. Is there any other comment concerning the ambulance authority? I don't think 911 Central is here tonight, so no reports from them. Anything I missed? Motion for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that one.
Okay, second. We've had a motion.
Gary, second.
Yes.
Meeting's over.